So this week, we're going to be giving this guy some love. Except we're not really giving him some love today. We're just going to be talking about what we're doing here in terms of the drivetrain, because frankly, it's seen some miles. So an old Sven, our hardtail here, he's been seeing a lot of action, a lot of miles during lockdowns. Been literally the only bike I've ridden since this whole COVID lockdown thing's kind of changed how and what I am riding, what we as a community generally are riding, which means all the great things about him plus all of the things which could be better are just being brought into sharp relief. And the drivetrain is seen better days. It's not that it doesn't work, the cassette needs replaced anyway, so then that would probably mean fresh chain ring, definitely a new chain. So while some are saying that, 9 is fine, and for me for the longest time 9 has been fine, and that's when I thought, okay, now it's time to finally push up from 9. So, and I've always been pretty pleased, pretty proud of the fact that my golden ratio in this bike was always 32 in the back, 32 in the front. And there was nothing that I couldn't climb that if I was pushing, it wasn't because this top gear wasn't enough. And when I did eventually get a proper wide ratio cassette with an 11-speed setup on the Banshee, I went for a 42 tooth. Now, reason being, I've always kind of thought that if I want to climb faster, use a harder gear. And if you've got a bigger rear kind of dropout gear, 44, 46, 50 tooth in the rear, you just climb slower. It doesn't help with your fitness or training, and while there's an absolute place and there's riders for that, it never wasn't one that I ever kind of wanted for. So I never felt that that was what I was lacking at the rear until recently. And it's not that I'm any less fit. I am than I was a few years ago, but that isn't why I'm now thinking that 32 at the back isn't enough. It's for one very important reason, which is this guy, and more importantly, this thing hanging off the back. So the trailer bike is great, it's the best thing ever. I love it probably more than having them on the seat in the back or at the front, but that thing weighs more than this whole bike. Put him on it as well, and suddenly the 32 golden ratio starts to feel a little bit of a pinch in the legs when we're kind of going up those climbs. So now is the time to push that a little bit higher. So what are we going with? We're going with 11 speed, but what ratio cassette? That is the question. And here's the point of this whole video. And the point of this whole video is wide ratio cassettes. You're doing them wrong. Let me explain. So let's think about this. So we've gone 9, 10, 11, 12, and some manufacturers are pushing 13. And there's this whole insane amount of effort and tech and proprietary standards and new standards going in to get in this little 11 tooth to 10 teeth to 9 teeth. And those 2 teeth, that 1 tooth difference, that new microspline going XD, not having a standard cassette body that could take an 8-speed all the way up. I mean, you can run 12-speed on that standard free hub body, but not if a Shimano cassette, because that Shimano cassette goes to 10. But you know what you could do, which gives you so much more there than 1 tooth? Do you know what you can do at this end that gives you so much more than just 1 tooth more? Is paying some attention to this end here. With this guy, you can get 2, 4, 6 more teeth on this front chain ring, and have to change anything in the back, and you have all that much more gear ratio in that magical 11 tooth sprocket. You're putting all that energy to dropping 1 tooth at the back, because you're spinning out. Whereas for us mountain bikers, how often are you actually spinning out? And as we all know, it's faster to pump the trail and to use your body weight on the bike than it is to pedal when you're on a descent. Disagree? Argue with this guy. So why do mountain bikers use wide ratio cassettes? And how do we normally use them? Well, normally we just stick with a 32 up front. We used a 32 when we had 9 speed. We had 32 when we had 10. And we're sure as hell not going for a higher or lower one. We're sticking with 32 when we have 11, 12 and 13. So we're just extending one end of our gear ratio, aren't we? Go from 30, 32, 34, 40, all the way up to 50. All we're doing is giving ourselves easier climbing gears. Meanwhile, all this effort and stress going into giving us one more tooth here. Stupid, absolutely idiotic. If you're going to expand your ratio, do the chainring at the exact same time. You can put a 40 on there and make it a higher chainring at the front and still have an easier climbing gear, but so much more power at the front end as well. For all those times that we're spinning out, you've got that front end to give you that little extra grunt because you've got a bigger chainring. One tooth there, you're not going to notice that difference. That's the difference between having dry lube or wet lube on a dry day. But if you have a 34 or a 36 as opposed to a 32, that is an appreciable difference. That is the difference you will feel, and you'll have more power and grunt at your top end. Extend the back of it as well, push it to 40. You're still going to have an easier gear than you currently have with a 32-32. That's why we're doing it wrong. If you're going to expand your ratio, you need to do both ends at the same time. It's a system. There's no point just doing one end and giving yourself an easier, slower, and slower and higher cadence climbing gear. Stupid. All you're doing is going slower, spinning faster, looking like an idiot without going anywhere. Balance both of them. It's simple, it's easy, it's not hard. So there are my thoughts. If you've enjoyed this video, I really appreciate a like and subscribe, and let me know what gear ratio and setups you're running in the comments, and let me know why I'm wrong and why a wide ratio and as low at the front and as big at the rear is the way forward. Let's have a chat about this in the comments. As always, thanks for watching and happy trails.